the lean. Lean is the anagram for ENLIL. They telling you the responsible parties. ENLIL means Sky Daddy. Sky Daddy is this fictitious character that the church give you to put your faith in so he can distract you from what's going on in life. Because the chapter of misery, you need somebody to blame for your misery in order for you to accept it, because it can't possibly be your own doing from your self-neglect of educating yourself. Every man is responsible to make himself the best man he can make himself. Right? So the one that you compare yourself to is going to be your best man at the wedding. It's normally the father of the groom. Now it's the best friend of the groom. What happened? Best friends is murderers. Straight out of the 313. It's a hit squad. It's a sweetheart swindle. The sweetheart swindle was the seduction of Big Mama by Uncle Joe. But it really wasn't Uncle Joe, it was Uncle Charlie, Charles V. Charles V led 50 chiefs into war against 21 fezzes. All of the fezzes is in the George Washington Memorial. But if you Google under images Charles V or Carlos Cinco, right, you will see all of the chiefs. But they all came from what we call the Nazca community of the southwestern United States, because they couldn't use the ones that was already under contract. So no tribe with a treaty entered into the Conjure War to cause the ceasefire. That's how you know they outlaw tribes, because they never give up and they never surrender. No retreat, no surrender, never give up, never give in, full speed ahead, balls to the wall until we drop them all. And Tupac said if we was just playing chess, this would have been over years ago, because we checkmated them 3 years ago. Right now we trying to get the imposters out, the ones that look like us, that ain't us. They put us in the condition to go carry and slaughter all of the pale faces to get our shit back. And all of the time they gonna be standing next to us talking about kill Whitey, and he the goddamn white man. So ODB explains it the best when he say shame on the nick for trying to run game on a nick. And then he explains it. He said, what I'm talking about is shame on them niggas that's trying to run game on us niggas so we can think it's a racial discriminatory war so they can turn us niggas against you white niggas, right? And them niggas all the time is the niggas behind it. Chief Crazy Horse.
After right? That, they partner. So I'm telling
you. We had to get him out of there because they was about to come get him. He told you who it was. When they say, who you think after? He say, Bush and them niggas. That's the garden plot. See, they gave us the 3 knocks that they was coming with 2 World Trade Centers and the Federal Building. We know they coming. But I got ice in my veins. I ain't gonna make my move too soon because BB King told me not to.
They going crazy up in the chat, bro. I got another question for you because you was talking about the Dixie line and all that. Now, so what's the deal on this? They give us a storyline with the slavery storyline that people were escaping the South to go to the North for better opportunity. Like every slave story.
Okay, let's examine the validity of that, Elder. Let's leave your mic on for a minute because we've been doing a little back and forth here. Okay, when Malcolm was telling us the difference in the racists of the North versus the racists of the South, how did he describe them?
He said the racism of it's the same. It's just more up in north.
You said the races in the south is like the big bad wolf. You know he's coming and you know he's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You said the racist in the north is the sly fox.
Yeah.
Right? And he's cunning. And he used deception. That's important. Right? Excuse me.
Go ahead.
My chronics.
I get you some water and go to that joint. Watch that joint.
Right.
Down.
So this why that become important. In Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice, the merchant is talking and he's saying that the Jew has to be like both the lion and the fox. Right? And he was telling them this because he was telling him he had to be slick, cunning, sly, and deceptive like the fox. But also like the lion, he has to know when to step out front and roar. Right? So they use animal names to describe themselves. My lawyer, when I was in Cook County, name was Leo Fox. He was a Jew. Ain't that something? But he was a fake Jew.
Yeah, Leo Fox.
Right? And I was working with another dude who's not a Jew, but his name was Leo Wolf.
What?
Right? I almost had to bust his head at work.
Yeah.
Right? But these things is little subtleties in the game of the deception.
Yeah.
Right? So now, as long as we don't remember, one of us just got to remember, just one of us, because now the one that remember inherits a responsibility. Well, none of us niggas want that shit. We want everything but a responsibility. We don't want to be responsible for me, myself, and I, so I sure as hell don't want to be responsible for all of the braves out there that's lost. But you become responsible by the fact that you know. Because our ancestors say the one that know must teach. That means it's not optional.
Right.
Must mean mandatory. Right? Right. So and now you got to find a way that's not under the control of the enemy in order for the people to be able to pull receipts and see what you're talking about. Sometimes you have to pull the receipt for them because it sounds too far-fetched. Right. The truth is stranger than fiction. Right? Because everything they told us in fiction is a distortion of the truth. And it make the truth seem stranger. And now we got to remember a couple of key points. Victors write history. History is not written by the loser. Right? Revisionist history is written by both losers and outsiders, outside observers. Right. That's revisionist history. That's saying, hey, take another look because this is what really happened. Yeah. Now, you also have oral traditions that's passed on in the form of epithets, common sayings, and stuff like that, or what we call codes, street codes. If you can live by the rules of the street, they laws can't stop you from doing shit. If you learn to live by the rules of the streets and you follow the code, you can because part of the code of the street is you got to be lawyer enough how to know not to step into their traps. Right. Right. So the law of the streets is the law of the land. Street knowledge is the knowledge of the people of the land. Right. This is why you need a book smart and a street smart. You can't have one without the other. Right? Because the book smart is learning what they use against us. Street smart, right, is how we deal with each other on our own terms without the intervention of foreign agents. Yeah. but they're going to teach us to break the codes, to be fake, to assume the position of following the code. But then when the shit get tight, we're going to resort to following their instructions. In other words, give up your whole clan for the shit you did.
Right.
That's their trick. That's a trick from the beginning. They wanted the whole clan to begin with, and they was trying to find the weakest link because a chain is only as strong as its weakest link.
Right.
So, a couple of things to look up for verification of what I'm saying. Look up the FBI informant program, the FBI Black Informant Program. Right. Also, look up the COINTELPRO mission statement and activities against what they call them, activities against un-American organizations. So they was anybody that was opposed to the corporation, whether they was KKK or whether they was the Crips, was a target of COINTELPRO, right? They just looking for somebody organic to the land to rise up and tell their secrets to the public, right? Because the Illuminati stunned. They knew that I was coming to expose their game plan to these hip-hopping youngsters, right? What's hot on Instagram right now is the CIA agent claimed that they started hip hop in the 80s as a form to create public dissent. The only problem with that is hip hop was created long before the 80s. They may have infiltrated hip hop, which we know they did because we know they had hip hop police following the artists around. Why was that?
I got arrested by the hip hop police, bro. I know they exist. Bro. I got arrested by the hip hop police. Yeah.
Now here go the thing. They only following hip hop artists. Why is they fucking with Young Elder?
No, I'm gonna tell you. No, I was with my homeboy when I got arrested. I was with Hurricane. See, look, okay. So I was following behind Hurricane in my car, and one of the headlights was out, right? And they was watching Hurricane the whole time, right? I didn't know. What they do is they go around and collect shit on you so they can use it as blackmail, right? So they can get you, you know. So I was following around. So they thinking that I'm trying to rob Hurricane because Hurricane riding in a Range Rover, and I was riding like a white Subaru, like a raggedy white Subaru. I'm following him around. We going to the studio, and the cops pulled me over. It was an unmarked all white car, and this nigga. They ran my name in all 50 states. Them niggas had these hip hop cops. They like the feds or something. They can run your name on a federal level, and they ran my name.
They got something called the NCIS, the National Crime Information System. This has been set up since the 70s, where if they put a name in there, it search you in all 50 states. It just got faster with the advent of the internet because the internet wasn't always part of the law enforcement's immediate access.
We sat there for 2 hours, and then he called the real police to come arrest me, and for a ticket that I had. I was in Dallas, but they arrested me for a ticket that I had in a whole nother state. They took me to jail, held me for 24 hours till the other people came and got me for a ticket, but they was hip. Come to find out that he was hip hop police and they was following and watching Hurricane. Yeah.
Who was Hurricane?
Over $1 billion, and you a Nubian and you a rapper. They watch you 24 hours a day. The hip hop.
Who was Hurricane? Tell us about him.
Hurricane Chris is my homeboy that sang "Hey Baby, Hey Baby." He had a couple. He had made $6 million like in 1 year off of ringtones and shit when them ringtones was hot. And so he from Louisiana, from my same neighborhood, and he hit it big, right? And then he was with Clyde Davis. Clyde Davis, the one that signed him. You know what I'm saying? J Records. And,
Clyde Davis is he's the member of the ADL.
Exactly. Yeah, you already know.
So Clive Davis, Jimmy Iovine, and all of those executives is either members or financiers of the Anti-Defamation League, the ones Farrakhan suing. But the Anti-Defamation League keep their hands clean. When the dirt got to be done, they send in some people called the Jewish Defense League, right? The Jewish Defense League is like the FOI. It's a paramilitary branch of these people that's squatting on the land, that anytime one of us about to come up financially, they're going to try to extort us. And if they can't extort us, then they're going to murder us. But the Anti-Defamation League in the music industry, their job is to tie the artists up into contracts that gives up their image and likeness in perpetuity throughout the boundless universe forever and ever, which is, they call that selling your soul, right? Because you can't benefit from your life work, from your artistic, creative, God-given talent. That's why it's called selling your soul, but you can't literally sell your soul because it's not yours to sell. But you can definitely sell the product of your soul's labor, right? There's certain people that's going to come in and they're going to be a great singer no matter what, right? If you can find that person and you can contract them, you can live off them for the rest of your life and theirs too, right? But you're not supposed to do that. That's illegal in the free will universe. It's called usury. Right? In the contract law, that's a kind game in the corporation, and it's called larceny by trickery. Right? If they talk you into signing the contract without you reading, it becomes larceny by conversion. A conversation led to theft. As long as you don't know, ignorance is no excuse of the law. You are what you call in non-redeemable status because of your ignorance. Now, when you become aware, you have two options: either to do it yourself or sign what you call mutual benefit contract. That's why they killed Otis Redding, because he had a mutual benefit contract and they couldn't take all of his shit. The same with Sam Cooke. He did it himself. Sarge Records, he started with the Greeks, and the Greeks had him killed. They just needed artists to serve as the replacement for Sam Cooke so they could bump him off a 2-ball cane from a 4-corner shuffle. So they used Bobby Womack to assume the life of Sam Cooke if they was to remove Sam Cooke. It's all of this is the Babylonian money magic part. It's learning to control the individual by controlling the contract. And that's why they always talking about making the deal with the devil, signing the contract with the devil. The devil just means your enemy. And anybody who settles a dispute made a contract with their enemy, even if the contract is to settle the dispute. It's still an agreement. A contract is just an agreement. Now, if the agreement is made when one party is in ignorance, as soon as he become aware of the deception in the contract, the remedy in law, so he's no longer a willing participant, is called the abandonment defense. When you discover a crime, you in the car, 5 motherfuckers finna go do a murder. You jump out the car and say, I ain't finna be number 6. Right? They go on and commit the murder. The police arrest you and all 5 of them, and they know that you've discovered the crime was about to be committed. You got the right to be free of the penalty of the crime because if you abandon the crime before it happened, right? Or during the process of it about to take place. When you realize what was going on, you cease and desist it. Therefore, you can't be held as part of the agreement. That's the underlying crime. So they remedy because they still need to find a way in law to trap all parties known. So they got some shit called accessory before and accessory after the fact. So if you tell somebody you're going to commit a crime and go commit it and they don't report it before you commit it, that's called accessory before the fact. If you commit a crime, you get away and you tell your homeboy, hey man, I need you to throw this gun in the river. But since it's a sweet 357 Python, he decided to keep it. They catch him with the pistol. The pistol traced to the murder, but they know you did. He becomes accessory after the fact for concealing the weapon that committed the crime. Right? So now we got to know how the street work and how the judicial system work.